One second, boys. My Wi-Fi is shitty. Can't see any comments or anything right now, but yeah, we're gonna be going over GME, AMC, Tesla, Nvidia, and then whatever you guys want to look at. We're currently looking at the U.S. dollar versus the Canadian dollar. Yeah, CAD is taking a big old shit. They just got fucked on. Yeah, that shit's dying. Wouldn't be surprised if we come down to 67. What's up, Super Cat? We're just going over these tariffs and everything. Kind of warming up before the market on Monday. Yeah, I mean, typically this would just mean the market's gonna shit the bed, but obviously, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I would say market's about to get fucking cooked. I mean, you look at Nvidia, it's literally testing its daily 200. I mean, you can kind of just see how powerful that is, considering we literally have not tested it since $15. So price has not tested its daily 200 simple moving average since 15 smackaroos. So yeah, this shit has very good potential of just getting cooked. Let me just turn this shit down. The hell is Nvidia at? This shit looks horrible, honestly. It just looks bad, but it's kind of weird that we do have a gap here. But I mean, honestly, we just have to kind of ignore that. I mean, it's literally testing its daily 200 that it just hasn't tested since 15 fucking bucks. I mean, and considering the news that's going on in the market, I mean, I would just say this: if it loses its 200, it's programmed to go to at least 106 to 102. Like, that's absolutely programmed if it loses its daily 200. So market open tomorrow, I would literally just wait. As soon as it breaks that daily 200, I'm entering short. Oh yeah, by the way, guys, if you wanted me to go over some random stock or something like that, just put it in the comments or something, and I'll take a look at it. But we're just going over all these tickers right now for preparation for Monday. Honestly, Monday probably wouldn't be that good of a day to trade. But obviously there's going to be volatility, so I mean, if you have the balls for it, we can go ahead and take a look at ES. So ES is the S&P 500 futures, and so these trade during the night. So you want to go to the ES futures, the latest one at March. Yeah, and that shit. So this is a new daily candle. So we just gapped down. So we had an open gap down. So pretty much all these stocks are gonna open up with a gap down. So I wouldn't be surprised if Nvidia does something like this, where maybe it gaps down, tests the daily 200, and then gets a rejection, and comes down to test its value area low, which is at 102.44. Honestly, this kind of tariff news shit might be like good to make a shitload of money if you're up for it, because a lot of these stocks are just really in a tight position. I would say Nvidia, like SMCI, so super microcomputer, Tesla. Okay, we were already short on Tesla, but it's actually just looking even better now. Tesla closed right up under its 20 simple moving average at 405 and 2 cents. If we gap down below the 50, I'm going short at this fair value gap at $400.37. Like, and I'm targeting that 360 range. What's up, Super Cat? You had a family reunion? Alright, well, just get your whole family to start watching, bro. Just put it up on the, Alright, Maurice. Nah, I need you, buddy. I need you here. So yeah, the ES, so E-mini, S&P 500, these S&P 500 features. Yeah, you can see the obvious gap down. We actually found support right at this. So this green line is the daily 100 SMA. Honestly, so the gap fill is right at value area low at 6,061.25. So what's up, Grimace Oompa Loompa? I'm assuming that's Uga. You know, again, literally my previous video, I was short on Tesla. Let's go over Tesla. Supermicro computers kind of sussing me out. You're right at your point of control, and that's sitting at 2834. Considering all the news, again, the best setups I see is literally Supermicro computer for shorts. If you gap down below, come up and retest point of control, like I'm going short. Same thing with Tesla. If you gap down below this orange line, which is your daily 50 SMA, like if you gap down below, come up and retest it, I'm going short. Like honestly, tomorrow might be the actual best opportunity you'll ever freaking have, because Nvidia, again, is literally at its daily 200 SMA, which is, guys, it hasn't tested its daily 200 since $15. So that's pretty big opportunity. If you break the daily 200 SMA and you come up and retest it and get a rejection, like I'm going very short on that shit. At least until the value area low at $102. So what is that? That's like an 11% gain. Yeah, it must be Uga. Yeah. Alright, okay, well, we've had our fun with Nvidia and Tesla and stuff. Let's go over GME and AMC, which I guess most people care about. We'll start with GME. I'm just going to be honest with you, this chart doesn't look good. I know that we mentioned previously the point of control at 27.79. You can see price has kind of been dancing around right at that price level. I mean, and unfortunately, last Friday, it literally just got rejected directly at it, and that's not good. And it's just not good. I mean, it's certainly not bullish. What is a little bit weird though is you do have your stochastic in the lower range, and your MACD doesn't look terrible. I would say kind of the next point of support would be your daily 100 at 25.71. Yo, what's up, Yankee? Yeah, so your next support would be 25.71 at your daily 100 SMA. I would kind of be looking for that. And, you know, again, with, you know, this kind of tariff news, obviously if you know, the S&P 500 is shit in the bed, you know, along with like Tesla and Nvidia and like all, you know, pretty much the Mag 7, I mean, chances are GME might not be doing that good. So I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, GameStop even has a gap down going into Monday, or, you know, just kind of struggles. I would be saying, you know, next support again would be the daily 100 at 25.75, and then ultimately the daily 200 at 24.08. That's just kind of like that's just kind of like your last point of support, or kind of just last kind of. You better be tagging that shit and running, or you better be, if you break the daily 200, the play's dead. The play is actually dead if you break the daily 200, unless you literally just snag this fair value gap, which we haven't retested, at 23.12. I don't see that happening. I would rather bounce to the daily 100. Again, that's at 25.71. If we go down to the 4 hour, you literally have a fair value gap here as well, which kind of makes me a lot more confident in it, right? That you would see some kind of recovery at that level between 25.71 and then 25.39. that kind of makes me more confident in that level. Like I don't even want to be going down and testing the daily 200. Like I don't even want to be near it. I don't want to be testing it because it's just kind of, you kind of just risk the entire play being dead at that point. Like just being real. What is up, Sniftix? Sorry. There's divergence on the 4 hour. Yeah, we're on the 4 hour right now. Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, price is coming down. I mean, all in all, the chart doesn't actually look that bad. It's just, okay, well, let's just kind of get the obvious out of the way. It's literally bear flagging. You know what I mean? Okay, but we'll kind of ignore that and we'll just remain biased. No, but seriously, your next support should be like the daily 100 at 25.71. AMC. This just sucks. AMC sucks, man. It's brutal. In hindsight, it was kind of obvious, but I would say that you could bounce at the gap fill at 305. So honestly, like bouncing from here would be perfectly fine. But again, with kind of the market conditions and the S&P 500 going into next week, we might as well just tag the value area low to 286. Like you just might as well. Like you might as well tag 286. I think you have a decent chance of getting a bounce there. I mean, if you don't, I just don't see anything else. There is literally nothing below that could even catch or fall, except for your weekly value area low at 238. So that would just, yeah, I mean, you don't want to be going that low. Your next point to bounce on AMC is that 286. So I'll give it 280. I'll give AMC 286. I'll give GME the daily 100 at 25.71 as possible zones to bounce. It's just kind of unfortunate with kind of this, tariff news and all this random ass shit. What is this, CAD? Let's look at CRV. I think some people wanted to go over CRV. So this is Curve Finance, crypto token. Yeah, this is brutal. This is brutal. We need to pull up Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin shit in the bed. Bitcoin tried to find some kind of salvation with this fair value gap at 96. This is just, yeah. I mean, you're probably heading down to the. This is actually kind of good. So you do have your daily 100 SMA at $93,911, and that's also your value area low at 93,907. That would probably be the next point I'd be targeting for a buy. Again, it's just gonna be predictable tomorrow. I would just kind of hold off on doing anything. I would just kind of let the markets figure itself out first. Yeah, dip before rip. I mean, most likely, this is just like, man. Obviously, the most obvious thing would just be to short everything. But again, the markets are unpredictable. I would just say, if you're not up for volatility or anything like that, just stay out of the market. If you have some balls, then there's a lot of opportunity here. I mean, you're looking at Nvidia right at the daily 200. If we open up below the daily 200, I would just wait for us to try to fill a gap or some kind of rejection at the daily 200 on Nvidia for some kind of short. I mean, again, that's just kind of like a pretty powerful statistic there, where we literally have not tested the daily 200 since $15. So let me see here. Let's look at MSTR. Oh yeah, no. MSTR, MicroStrategy. All right, so we have been crazy short on MicroStrategy. It actually got a rejection at its 4 hour value area high at 344.73. That's fine. I would like to see a dump until this fair value gap on the 4 hour chart at 301. If we go up to our daily, we have a fair value gap at 282, and then your value area high at 189. Guys, you're going to test the daily 200 again at some point. You're going to test 215, and that's just like, guys, the gains that is possible with this stock is like insane. That's a 35% drop. MSTR is a cash cow. It's a literal cash cow. If you just perpetually short MSTR, like you will just make money. Like, it's just, you can't even go wrong with it. It's literally just a cash cow. All right, well, this is kind of crazy. All right, night, Maurice. I might be going live tomorrow too. I don't know. I kind of like it when, you know, price is like actively moving. It's kind of weird looking at a chart when price isn't moving. That's kind of why I like to do crypto over the weekends and kind of just do some initial pre-charting on stocks. This is kind of weird, dude. Bitcoin dominance is, I mean, it's having a breakout of a lifetime right here. If we can break out of that 60.98, that's your daily value area high. It's a pretty big deal. Let's go to the weekly. Yeah, I would say your next target would be 62.45%. I mean, this thing has a lot of room to run. Your previous point of control, I mean, it was all the way at 67%. That would just completely murder off alts. So alts would just get, oh my god. Let's look at XRP. XRP is probably dying right now. Holy shit, yeah. XRP is dying. That was obvious. Guys, when you pull up the Bitcoin dominance chart and you see that shit mooning, I mean, the altcoins are just going to be dead. Let me see Litecoin. Well, yeah, Litecoin is having a pretty decent pullback here. XRP, I would say next support would be $2.23. So that's your daily value area high. If we go down to the 4-hour, so yeah, you actually do have support at 239. That's your point of control. If that breaks, then you're going down to, ooh, yeah, that 225. I would say let's mark that on the daily chart and come back down to the 4-hour. So we'll put a horizontal line at $2.22 on XRP. Go back down to the 4-hour. So that actually coincides right with a 4-hour fair value gap. So I'd actually be a buyer all the way down to $2.19 on XRP. Somewhere between this zone of your 4-hour control and then this fair value gap. If that breaks, we'll just color the screen. I would say if this breaks, then you're probably going down to your daily 100 at $1.99. I mean, you got to take profit with crypto, man. This stuff is way too volatile. Like, I know people are looking at their ports right now, and they're like in tears. Yep, you're literally right about to test this control at 240, and we're literally watching this in real time. But if you guys want me to go over some other tickers, put it in the chat, and we'll pull it up, and we'll kind of go over the game plan going into next week. But yeah, 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico, and a 10% additional tariff on imports from China. You know, there's a bunch of people on social media thinking that they're experts in some shit about what's going on. Honestly, it's pretty complicated. I don't think anybody knows what the result of this is going to be. And we just hit that control. So we're testing this in real time. I mean, this is our 4-hour control. And I mean, if that breaks, you're going to come down to this fair value gap at 223. But I mean, this honestly would be a decent area to actually long on the 4-hour chart. I would just have a super quick stop loss. So I mean, if I would just say 230. Let's just go to the 1 hour. Yeah, we're coming down to that fair value gap at 223. I mean, you have a 1 hour fair value gap down to 238, but it doesn't look like it. Just this shit just looks horrible. Yeah, Bitcoin dominance is just going insane. I mean, your 4 hour control is trying to hold up. You have an additional 3.5 hours left of this candle, so it kind of needs to make a recovery here if this control wants to hold. I would say if the 4 hour closes above the control, I'd say it'd be a decent long. If the 4 hour closes below, I would short all the way to this fair value gap at 223. Doge. All right, guys, let's go look at Doge. So Doge broke through this fair value gap. It's not a good thing. You can kind of, oh shoot, actually it just broke its daily value area high. That doesn't look very good. Up front, just looking at it, doesn't look that great. I mean, it could recover itself. You would want this daily to close above 26 cents. Let's go to the 4 hour and get a little bit of a better picture on this. But okay, so we have a fair value gap sitting at 25 cents. So 25. Your daily 100 is sitting at 22.6. So that would be a powerful way to long. I mean, your MACD's oversold, your stochastics. Let's kind of overlay something here. So let's overlay the Bitcoin dominance. So say new price scale. So we're overlay that. Yeah, I mean, you can just see altcoins trade. I mean, just directly against Bitcoin dominance. So Bitcoin dominance looks bullish. It's just like, man, this is kind of unfortunate. It's unfortunate for these altcoins. You know, it could get a rejection at this value area high at 16.98, but this thing just doesn't look like it wants to stop. You have a chance for a rejection at this fair value gap at 61.27%, which might give some relief to Doge. I would say this. I would actually long here on Doge, but I'd have a super short stop loss. So we could actually set up a long position from here at the top of this fair value gap back to the value area low. But my stop loss is going to be super short because if this fair value gap breaks, you're just heading back down to the 200 at 22 cents. But I mean, you have a decent. It doesn't look that bad. I mean, it doesn't look that bad on the 4 hour. The 1 hour isn't really telling us anything. Yeah, I mean, you had to bounce off your 5-minute value area low, so that's not too bad. But you got that rejection from your 5-minute control. Let's just take this off of the chart. Yeah, I wouldn't say it doesn't look too bad if it can reclaim its control at 27 cents. It just looks weak. It just looks weak. It just looks weak. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I think a better buy would be at the daily 200, and that's sitting at 22 cents, 20.22608. I think that would just be a better buy. It just looks weak. I mean, I would become a buyer above control again at 27 cents, but I mean, it just doesn't look that good. It just doesn't. Yeah, I mean, I'd say this is a decent setup here for some kind of long, but realistically, I wouldn't be longing until down here and just kind of create like a bigger kind of reward zone. Let's see. Yeah, it's just coming down. It just doesn't look that good. I would say at least until 24/7. That's kind of your next 15-minute zone of support. You're just getting rejected from these 5-minute FEGs, and kind of the 5-minute doesn't look totally bottomed. It really kind of just has to recover here, because these simple moving averages do not look good either, because they're crossing down. Let's see. You haven't tested the 200. You tested that back at 12 cents, so 0.128 cents. So you actually haven't tested the 200 since way back in October. So this fair value gap is kind of your last stand here for bulls. I mean, I'd say if you're bullish, I'd say go with it. I'd say long this fair value gap here. Let me go down to the 15-minute. Yeah, this shit's just coming down. It's going to come down to this fair value gap at 0.2469. And that's on the 15 minutes. So that might be kind of like your last saving little grace there, because I mean, really the macro chart looks like shit. And that's just being brutally honest. Like the macro does not look good on Doge. I'm just going to be real. You're at least, looks like you're coming back down to test your value. You're low at 25 cents. So we'll kind of just keep an eye on this. Again, yeah, XRP just broke its control. It's coming down to this fair value gap at 2.23. Yeah, it's just absolutely shit in the bed. It's definitely coming back down to this fair value gap. Dogecoin, yeah, I mean, if this value or low breaks at 25 cents, then I'll give it on the 15. So we'll mark this zone on the 15. So we'll put a horizontal line here. Then we'll go back to the 5-minute. Man, this is just unfortunate. Everything is just shit in the bed. And this is not going to be good for GME, I can tell you that, whenever the market opens. And look at this, your 20 SMA is crossing down of your 50 SMA. So that's not a good look either. You have about 1 cent. Yeah, XRP is still coming back down to that fair value gap. So I would just wait to make a decision until we come back down to that 2.223 zone right here. Might possibly see a bounce. Your value or lows at $1.99. Let's go back down to the 1 hour, see if we can see anything. But yeah, I mean, this was kind of our buy zone here. All right, any other tickers? We're gonna keep looking at Doge, but it looks like it's going down, boys, until at least 24/7. I mean, you have a chance at this value area low, and we're about to retest it. It just doesn't look that good, and really, your 5-minute isn't even that oversold. So you can put, seriously, I'm maxed out on indicators. All right, put in the chat what some other tickers you guys want to look at. The Canadian dollar, still shit in the bed. Probably until 67. Yeah, that's brutal. That's a brutal drop. That is a brutal drop. The sad thing about the XRP community is, like, man, they are just so loyal. And I guarantee you they didn't sell. Guarantee you they did not sell. That's a 30% drop. I mean, it's not too bad considering the gains that they made, but Yeah, I mean, whenever you get a 1 hour rejection from your value area low, you're shit in the bed at 290, and then, especially on the 4 hour, and whenever your control breaks. I mean, we were literally talking about this about 5 minutes ago, and as soon as your control broke, you literally just dumped bad, like pretty fast to 227. I mean, it's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. When your control breaks on a 4 to daily chart, I mean, you're just gonna shit the bed, and like that's just kind of the unfortunate thing, because you're literally just seeing a daily rejection of your control at 27.79 on GME. Like, it's not good. Like, it's not that good. I mean, you can see kind of how fast price moves whenever things like that happen. But yeah, XRP. Yeah, yeah. I mean, if Trump Glizzy says, a shakeout. Yeah, I mean that could, I mean, I would say that could be the case. Man, this like, guys, when you wake up tomorrow morning, you need to have Nvidia on your chart, because this is just extremely interesting. I mean, guys, I mean, are we seeing the same chart? I mean, we have not tested the daily 200 since $15.65. And we are right up on the daily 200. Like, that is everyone needs to have their Nvidia chart pulled up tomorrow at 8:30 sharp, and just needs to be watching this shit, because like this could be insane. I mean, you're right up on it. Yeah, I mean, I would just be taking a look at this. Let me see if I can pull up some more indicators. So we'll want to do, volume spread. I like this indicator. This indicator is basically, I mean, it just shows you, I like using it in correlation with the volume profile, because it can show you volume spikes. So it actually uses weighted moving averages against volume to kind of show you. I mean, honestly, it's pretty easy. Like, this is just low volume compared to high volume spikes, but it kind of just gives you like kind of more validation. And like, where did you see the volume spike? I mean, right at the daily 200. Like, it's a really, really big deal. So okay, we'll look at Mara and Holo. So Mara Holdings again, it got rejected right from its daily 200 SMA, and that's at 1913. So that's not a good look. Honestly, it looks like it wants to go to its value area low. That's sitting at 1497. Damn, that's quite a bit of a drop. I mean, because it got a rejection from its control, and it got a rejection from its daily 200 and its daily 100, and it's below its daily 20. It's not exactly the most bullish thing I've ever seen. Yeah, I mean, 4 hours is kind of the same thing, and you got a rejection from this 4 hour fair value gap. I would say I would give it. What was that? What was that on the daily? 1497. We'll mark this. We'll go to the weekly chart. Weekly doesn't look too bad. So actually, it's right on its monthly control, that's not bad actually. So its monthly control is actually at 1788, which is kind of interesting. You can kind of see on the monthly chart, price shot up to the daily 50 SMA and got a rejection at 2115. I mean, obviously, it's like, if Bitcoin's dumping, if S&P 500's dumping, well, I mean, what do you think Mars is going to do, right? Honestly, I don't really trade more. I don't even look at it really. But I mean, I would say, obviously, if it continues with the rest of the market, I mean, I might be a buyer at 14.91. But honestly, it just doesn't look that great. Unless price can recover the daily 200 at 19.13, I wouldn't even really be even considering longs on this thing. So, yeah, I mean, I would say I'm short term. I'd say I'm short term bearish on it, but monthly chart doesn't actually even look that bad. All right, guys, you want me to look at Holo? Holy crap! Yeah, ES just got a rejection from its daily 100 now. That's not good. I guarantee you, people were buying here for the gap fill, and they're about to get wrecked. They're like, oh, the gap fill is free, guys. We're just gonna buy the dump until the gap fill, and then they get shit on. Guys, I honestly, with Holo, I wouldn't even touch it. I mean, really, look at Holo's macro chart. It's like the risk is too great. The risk is way too great because it just. I mean, how long was this? So for 310 days, Holo literally has only gone down. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even. The risk, and the same goes for FFIE. Like, they're interesting stocks, you can make a lot of money from it, but like, just the risk to reward is just not there. It is just not there. I mean, just look at it. It's just like you're gonna have 2 days of a run, and then the macro chart is just bleeding out. This is bleeding out. So the risk reward is just not even there. It's non-existent. What do you think about? What do you think GME is about to look like in 20 minutes? 20 minutes. Oh, you're talking about overnight trading? Well, honestly, that's not like legitimate trading. I would say pre-market. I would just wait until pre-market, but it's probably not going to look that great considering ES has just shit the bed. I mean, it's testing its daily 100 at 5970. So, I mean, we'll see if price can kind of recover itself. But GME's probably not going to look that good, dude. I'm just being realistic. You look at the GME daily chart, you got a rejection from its control. Its daily 20 SMA is crossing down its daily 50. You have something decent going for you with the MACD and the stochastic. Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't look that great. I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, I would, you have the daily 100 at 2571. You have the daily 200 at 2408. Those you kind of know have to bounce. Like, you kind of know that the daily 200 has to bounce. Either it has to bounce or the daily closes above the daily 200 if you get anywhere near it. Because realistically, the whole play is dead. The whole play is dead as fuck. Like if you trade below the daily 200, if you start trading below the daily 200 and you're just like messing around, like chopping, like I would actually consider the play actually dead at that point. Because that was kind of the whole point of the main move, was to break the daily 200 and then maintain an uptrend. So I would say the chances of you coming down to the $20 range is probably low as hell. I would say $20 range is definitely, I would say most likely not happening. And I'd say you'd probably see a bounce at 25.73 or 24.08 before that ever even occurred. AMC's kind of a different story. This thing literally has to bounce at 286. You're bouncing at 286, or like you're bouncing at this, like a double bottom at 238, or like the play's dead. Like AMC might actually die at that point, and that's just being realistic. Yep, Doge just losing its 5-minute value area low, but it hit that range on the 15-minute. And again, this is Doge daily 200 SMA at 22 cents. Guys, come on, guys. It's too easy. Guys, it's too easy. Did we not? We were literally 10 minutes ago talking about XRP hitting this fair value gap once the control was broken. Guys, did we literally not just talk about this live, like as it was happening? So if this fair value gap breaks at 218, then you do have your daily 100 and your value low at $1.99. But guys, I mean, it's legitimately too easy. Like, you break your 4-hour control, you dump to the fair value gap. That literally just broke. So we'll give XRP a bounce here. But if this breaks, you're heading down to $1.99, buddy. Nah, but look, it was honestly too easy. We're literally bouncing right at the line that we put on our chart here. So I would honestly say this would be a decent range to kind of start buying into a position. I'd say you can definitely bounce here. I'm definitely buying at the daily 100, but you can certainly bounce here. On the 4-hour, you already hit your fair value gap, and the move is kind of overextended. But it's too easy, guys. It's too easy. Dogecoin bouncing off its value low at 24.3 that we literally marked on our chart like 5 minutes ago. Crypto is probably the easiest because it's just so manipulated. Like, if you're looking at altcoins while having the Bitcoin dominance chart and Bitcoin pulled up, I mean, it's almost too easy. Yeah, and this is your daily fair value gap all the way down to 95,276. So I'd actually say there's a decent chance for a bounce here, and then you have your daily 100 at 93,908, 93,906. And again, someone mentioned a fake out. That could quite possibly be the case. I mean, really, we don't know the long-term impacts of tariffs, but I don't know. Are we willing to give Nvidia a bounce here at the daily 200? Like, I don't know about all that. Yeah, everything's. What's up, John Vincent? Everything will be on sale tomorrow. Hell yeah, it will. And the people that are gonna get a discount are the people that are gonna have the balls to buy it. No, but legit, like, guys, like, this is some crazy shit. I mean, the video is at the daily 200. I don't know if you guys are feeling what I'm feeling. That's some crazy shit, dude. Oh, and I forgot to mention that we also called the top of Nvidia back in October. Okay. All right. Just making sure. Okay, well, actually, wait, this is kind of weird. This is saying that the daily 200's at 122.49. Wait, why is this saying differently? Hold on. Wait, could someone pull up the video on their chart? What's the daily 200 saying on your chart? This is saying the daily 200's at 122.49, but this one's saying that the daily 100's at 115.94. I think this one's the most accurate one. I don't know what's going on with this. Maybe I'm using two different indicators or something. Oh, where's actually our Nvidia macro chart? Wow, guys, holy shit. Guys, do you remember when I was first making videos on Nvidia? Do you remember with our macro channels? Wow, that's actually scary accurate. What the hell? No, are you seeing this? Are you seeing how accurate this is? Holy shit. That's actually kind of scary. That was a little too accurate. What was that other one? I think I had another chart. GME. Yeah, I think this was like our original Nvidia macro chart. Thoughts, earnings on Tuesday. Oh, you didn't know I go live? Yeah, I go live, buddy. No, I'm just playing. Actually, I haven't gone live in such a long time. I'm gonna start going live, so I'll definitely go live Sunday nights, and then we'll kind of have like a warm up into the week. So we'll kind of like get the list of stocks that we want to look at. So like we're looking at Nvidia, Tesla, you know, Bitcoin, XRP, Doge, you know, Curve Finance, obviously GME and AMC. You know, but like we'll kind of make a list of stocks that we're looking at, kind of go over them on the Sunday before the week kind of starts, so we know what we're looking at. But yeah, honestly, that's my bad, guys. I haven't gone live in so long, but I've just been extremely busy. I do have a full-time job, and unfortunately, it's a pretty stressful job. So like I'm kind of fighting to get time to kind of, you know, create content, all that kind of stuff, you know, while I'm working. But I'll definitely have time. I'll go live every Sunday from now on. And then hopefully during the week, probably the 2 days I'll probably be most available. It's probably Fridays, so I can go live on Fridays, but hopefully earlier in the week, like probably Monday or Tuesday, I'll try to go live. But so we'll look at AMD. Oh yeah, I was going over AMD in our last video with the AMD. Let me delete all this crap. That's not that good. So currently AMD is trading below. So this blue line is your daily 20 simple moving average. So that's not that good. Also, you have your last support at this fair value gap at 112.98 and you got a rejection from your daily value area low at 123.98. So that's not that good. That's honestly not that good. But as far as a reversal play, I mean, if it shits the bed tomorrow, I mean, I would say you obviously you look for your next fair value gap at 98.80, but that's kind of excessive. So we're gonna go down to the 4 hour and kind of see what we're looking at here. Yeah, that just I would not long AMD below the 20 SMA. I wouldn't. I would say next point of support 100 or 98.80. You sound like you're young, like 20. Yeah, I am in my 20s. I'm 23. I'm 23 and I'm the GOAT. No, I'm just playing. What do I do for my full-time job? I mean, I won't say exactly, but I work in like finances and stuff. And I work for a bank. Fortunately, it's a pretty stressful job. It's not that stressful, but it's kind of like I can't get away from it. Like I'm constantly doing stuff. Like I'm constantly like in phone calls, meetings, and like stuff like that. Which kind of sucks because like I enjoy trading so much. Like I have time to kind of just trade on my phone and every once in a while like pull up the PC and like trade. That's kind of why I like focusing on trading crypto, because like when I get off work or it's like the weekend, like I'm trading crypto and stuff like that. But yeah, but I'll definitely have time Sunday nights, and then, you know, most of the time I can actually get away and I can actually like stream a little bit during the day. But oh, did I go to college? Yes, sir. Absolutely. I have my bachelor's, and I'm thinking about doing my master's as well. You know, a lot of people kind of have this kind of idea about college where it's like, I don't know, some kind of like a virtue like in making it without going to college or something like that. But like, honestly, it's a good deal, man. I mean, you make a lot of connections, like you get a lot of experience, and like, if you have the opportunity to do it, I would just do it. I mean, just why not? I'd say it can only improve your life, for real. I don't know. A lot of kids nowadays are like, well, I'm still a kid myself at 23, but you know, younger people, they're kind of like against college or something. But I never really understood that. But yeah, I mean, as far as AMD, unfortunately, it's below its daily 20 SMA. I'm still bearish on it. I mean, if on the daily chart it kind of came back down to 99, like $100 or 99. Actually, I would give it its previous point of control at 103. I'd say 103 is probably a decent point for a bounce back here. Oh, the job I do, does it require I wouldn't say it requires it, but I would say you're probably not getting the job if you don't have it, unless you have like a lot of background experience or something. So we're gonna pull up the stochastic heat map. It's kind of one of my favorite indicators. We'll pull up bull market support bands. Where is that? So the bull market support bands is actually just your weekly 21 and 20. So your weekly 21 EMA and then your weekly 20 SMA. That's basically all the bull market support bands is. These are just kind of a lot of my favorite indicators that I like pulling up on the chart. We'll pull up that as well. So actually your stochastic on the daily is pretty oversold. So I'd say this is actually your previous control at 103. I would say if it shits the bed, I would say I would look for my next bounce at 100 to 103. So this would kind of be my next zone of kind of support here. Yo, what's up, Suitor TTV? It's been a minute. What's up, bro? Howdy, FN. I have the free trading view. Can we get the volume indicator? Yeah. If you want to, actually, this is a super good one. If you go to the indicators and then you look up volume profile, Lux Algo. So there's this. Oh yeah, actually, that's not even it. What the hell? Wait, let me look it up. It's called Volume Profile with Node Detection by Lux Algo. But there's a bunch of different volume profiles that you can use. Essentially, actually, I'll just kind of explain what the volume profile is. All it is just it's where 70% or some kind of defined metric of volume occurs. So we'll just say 70% of all volume occurs within this range. So the top of the range is your value area high, and then the value area low is the bottom of your volume profile. So 70% of the volume occurs within that range, and then the point at which the most volume occurs is your point of control. So that's where the most volume occurs. So it's actually, I would say it's a pretty damn useful indicator. So we'll pull up this Lux volume profile with node detection. Yeah. So yeah, you can actually just see how useful it is just for up front. So this is a volume profile. The node detection is literally just where a high volume moment occurs. So your controls. And then let's see if I can add another one. Yeah, and then if you want to put on, there's a few different indicators for volume analysis. This is probably a bad example. But yeah, you can see with Nvidia, like if we go down to the 4 hour, you'll see like a volume spike at the daily 200. Yeah. So then if you want to look up multi-SMA, so we'll look up multi-SMAs. And then you can literally see the volume spike at the daily 200 right here. Right whenever we hit the daily 200, there's a volume spike. So these are kind of my favorite indicators that I like using like in combination with each other. But yeah, if you want the free volume profile, I would literally just look up volume profile with node detection or just volume profile and just test those out. Guys, nah, guys, come on now. Come on now. It's too easy, guys. Guys, did you literally, guys, it literally hit our fair value gap that we were just talking about. Like, that's a pretty decent trade in the span of this video. Like, what? It's almost too easy. That's a 10% trade. Like, nah. Hold on now. Let's look at Doge though. Yeah, Doge recovered right off the value area low at 24. Yeah, I mean, it's just too easy. It's just too easy. And yeah, I don't know. So you actually want your 4 hour to close above your control now and then have a continuation on the next 4 hour. I mean, as far as a long-term hold, I would say short-term price action is kind of iffy with this because we're looking at the ES. ES hasn't made any meaningful progress. Bitcoin's trying to bounce, but I mean, as soon as you have the market open tomorrow, like all of that could change, right? So you're kind of seeing crypto having like a bullish bounce back, but kind of the concern is like how trustworthy is it when we haven't seen the market open yet, so we haven't seen the market kind of digest kind of the news. So it's kind of like XRP looks bullish, and it'll especially look bullish if the 4 hour closes above your control at 240. But it's just kind of, as far as like a long-term hold, it's just kind of concerning because this 4 hour could change very fast. Like, you just saw how volatile that was. Like, you could drop down to that $2 mark like fast, like real easy. But I mean, as far as that long, that was pretty damn good long. Like, we literally hit the fair value gap, bounced all the way back to the control. Doesn't really get better than that. Your stochastics in the oversold zone and your MACD is, and that's on the 4 hour chart. So that's actually not too bad. It's actually not that bad. All right, guys. Do you have any other stocks you want me to go over? Cryptos, anything like that? If not, we went over a lot of different information. And yeah, Canadian dollar is probably coming back down to 67.15, probably in the short term here. It's just kind of funny, dude. Yeah. Also, check out my my Twitter account. So I post some stuff on here. I post GME, AMC stuff mostly, but I'll post other charts as well. So check me out on Twitter. Check out the Discord. But yeah, hopefully I'll be Jimmy Horn's thesis is real. No, it's a load of bullshit. And again, like I actually like fractals, and in fact, I mean, I've used them myself. It's just like, I'm just, I know who you're referring to, and I'm just gonna be honest with you. They're not using fractals correctly. They're just not. I mean, that's not how you use fractals. But number two, it's just not even true. I mean, because he was calling this the bottom, and that was all the way back in August. So clearly something is not right with that thesis. Clearly something is not right with that thesis. I would say the only thing you could really trust at this point is just Jimmy making higher lows, and higher lows is in like this being higher than this low. And just having like this uptrend of lows. I would say that's probably the only thing you can even be confident about at this point. Wait, so that's 28.88. Your value area high on the daily. Yeah, I mean, again, like, yeah, GME is gonna shit the bed. Like, and it was kind of obvious whenever you got. Where's our other chart at? Oh, here we go. Are you referring to Robinhood? Yeah, look, whenever you got a rejection from your control, it was bearish. So whenever you got that rejection at 27.79, it was bearish. And, you know, again, I don't trust Robinhood. That's just like some bullshit trading. But again, with all this tariff news, S&P 500 down, crypto down, probably going to see some kind of struggle tomorrow. I definitely wouldn't be surprised if you hit the daily 100 at 25.71. You do want the daily 200 at 24.08 to bounce. If you hit below the daily 200, you can't close below it. Like, worst case scenario, worst case dump scenario. Okay, why is this not working? We'll just save this. Okay, we'll just save that and then reload. Sorry, my bad. I can't see comments right now. My phone died, but it'll be up in a second. Yeah, I would say worst case scenario, you hit this fair value gap at 23.21, and you have to bounce that same day. Like, you can't close below the daily 200. That for me just wouldn't make sense. Like, it just wouldn't make sense. I would say, like, worst case scenario, you tag the 100 or the 200. If you fall below the 200, you better tag this fair value gap at 23.14 and same day close above the daily 200. That would kind of be my bearish scenario. Yeah, I mean, you can't be trading below the daily 200. You can't. That's just like kind of death. That's just kind of death at that point. Yeah, the weekly got a brutal close as well, because this is your weekly value area high at 28.27, and you got a rejection from that on the weekly chart, which is not good. And your weekly is kind of showing us that price can cool off more with your stochastic and your MACD. Yeah, I mean, I would say XRP could come down to 2 or 199. Doge could come back down to the daily 200 at 22. Bitcoin showing still signs of weakness, and especially if this fair value gap breaks, I'd say you're probably going to tag 93.904. But I mean, as far as a short-term trade, like, that was a really good long of that fair value gap. Yeah, ES is still struggling in the overnight session. Typically, you're not even going to see real action until, like, it's actually already Asian session, but probably not till London session. So London session's not until like 3 in the morning, And even then, with all this news and everything, you're probably not even going to see anything crazy. Yeah, it was just unfortunate on Friday whenever you got that rejection from that control. It was just like, that was just kind of like your nail in the coffin there. GameStop at 24.60. Buy the dip. Buy the dip. 24.68. That is just unfortunate with the tariffs news. So okay, what's to say? Okay, obviously it's fake trading, but let's just say potentially it took us to 24. What the hell did it say? Okay, we'll just say 24.72. 24. Oh, phone just came back on, so I can see comments. And that's actually kind of crazy considering that IV is dead. Yeah, I mean, IV is just completely fucking died. So I guess, so the next, let's say 0620. So these are June's, and we can just see the open interest on June's. 33,000, it's not even that much. Alright, my bad. I can actually see comments again now. Alright, peace out, Yankee. Appreciate you tuning in. What do you think about potential PSA merger or acquisition? I want to be honest with you, like, GME itself is not a good company. Now, we can't deny the fact that it has $4 billion in the bank, but, I mean, realistically, it's like, you know, there is a pretty large market for, you know, trading cards and, you know, things like that. But, like, realistically, like, is it going to recover an entire company? Probably not. And the chances of them actually doing a merger, you know, with a grading card company is probably not that high. It's like, I don't know. And at the end of the day, it's like, we're not even, like, we're here for a recovering company, but, like, a recovering company is not going to have a short squeeze to, like, $500, you know, like, I don't know. GME itself as a company is not in a good position. I mean, that's honestly why they were closing they had to close all their stores in Germany, because, like, the company itself is not good, right? Like, without us investors giving them $4 billion in the bank, like, they would have been dead, like, a long time ago. Like, if this whole Roaring Kitty thing, whatever, never happened, like, GME would have been bankrupt, like, years ago. But that's as far as the company itself. He has $4 billion. He could obviously recover. You can definitely recover a company with $4 billion. But at the same time, like, we're not really here for that. Like, we're here for MOAS. Like, in the chart it kind of has to represent that. But again, this is pretty brutal. I don't really trust Robinhood. Obviously, it's not real trading. It's real trading, but it's not like the volume is so low. Price can be easily manipulated. 2470. What is this saying? 2470. 2470 low. That would put us at. That would put us almost at our previous control at around 2450. So that'd put us right above 2450, which was our previous control on the daily chart before it moved to 2779. That's not too bad. I'll accept that. Yeah, Sophie down 11%. Yeah. All right, we went over a lot of different information, stuff like that. So again, I'll be streaming probably every Sunday night, so you guys can tune in, and then hopefully I'll find time during the week so I can set up a live stream so we can actually trade live. But other than that, before I head out, were there any other stocks, tickers you want me to check out, or other information? Trump just said he. Jimmy, what's up, Jimmy? Jimmy says Trump just said he will hold talks tomorrow with Canada and Mexico on tariffs. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're completely right, and you have to think about it. Mexico and Canada are not going to win like this war. Like they're calling it a war, but it's like for show. Like it's literally for show. Like there's nothing Canada can do. like what are we like a 70 to 80? I think both Mexico and Canada's exports are like 70 to 80% to America. They have no choice. what seriously, like what are they gonna do? Like they don't, we're calling this like a war, but like they really just don't have that much leverage against us. Obviously he can't act like a what, like in front of its people. Like Trudeau has to retaliate in kind of like parentheses, like because he can't look like a bitch. You know what I mean? Like he can't just let us put 25% tariffs and like not do anything and just like look like a complete bitch. Like he has to retaliate, in quotation marks. But realistically, like there's no chance in hell like they have even. This is even like a war. Like they're gonna get fucked on. Like they have no leverage against us. Like, but yeah, you're completely right. Things could, revert fairly quickly. So that's gonna be huge. But other than that, I'll go over some like additional tickers if you guys have some in the comments that you wanna go over. But other than that, I'm gonna head out to the gym. We can take one last look at Doge and XRP. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it is kind of all theatrics, and honestly, the market looks fine. Yeah, I think you're right. But definitely, there's gonna be some bleeding tomorrow, for sure, which should quickly reverse. If Trump comes out and has some kind of conversation or anything like that. But yeah, I'll keep a close eye, and definitely keep a close eye on Nvidia. It's right at its daily 200 SMA. Like you need to be watching this shit. Like this needs to be pulled up because bear market or not, or crash or not. If Nvidia loses its daily 200, like that's a big deal regardless. Like I don't care what stock it is. I don't care what's happening in the market. If a stock like Nvidia that hasn't tested its daily 200 since $15, breaks the daily 200, like it's a pretty big deal. It's pretty big deal. But it also could be an opportunity. So just keep an eye on that. But all right. Other than that. I'll see you guys. Hopefully I'll go live later this week, but I'll be going live every Sunday, and I know tonight was only like about an hour, but hopefully Sundays I'll have more time, like 2 hours, maybe 3 hours, to kind of go over a lot more stocks. But hopefully I'll be going live. I might find some time tomorrow, maybe even tomorrow or Tuesday, and then hopefully Fridays I'll be able to go live as well, so we can kind of close out the week with some good trades. But other than that, make sure to join the Discord. Check me out on x.com when you have access to me. So I'll post charts, post lessons and stuff like that on there. But all right, I'll go over some tickers, some last minute tickers if anyone wants me to go over a stock or something like that. But I'm about to head out here, about 10 minutes or so. Yeah, no problem, bro. Yeah, absolutely. And again, I haven't streamed in such a long time, and that's my bad. I just haven't had time, but definitely I'm gonna start streaming again. I'm a little rusty with my TA, but I feel like I'm pretty good at it. I feel like even tonight we've literally had a good trade with Doge and XRP. Yeah, we'll get back into it. We'll be in the full swing of things. Because I know that we're kind of focused on GME and AMC, but there's a lot more opportunity in the market. Especially with this kind of volatility that's coming our way. But oh, no problem. Yeah, we can definitely go over AMC again real quickly. And really nothing's changed with AMC since my previous video. So you currently have this gap fill on the daily chart. So we'll kind of just bring this over and extend it. So let's take a simple rectangle. So this is your gap fill. That's down. So we'll say here. This is your gap fill on the daily chart. So technically, it really could bounce here, but I would say if you lose 305, you're definitely going to come down to your value area low, and that's all the way at 286. So I would give it a bounce at 305. Obviously, going into tomorrow with this news, I mean, GME is already down like 8.5%. 305 is likely not holding, right? So I would give it a bounce at 286. 286 is kind of your last stand on the daily for a bounce. On the weekly chart, there's nothing else to catch you. Like there's nothing, like you have 286, but there's just nothing else to catch. Like there's nothing else as acting as support on the weekly chart except for 238. So you could potentially double bottom on the weekly chart, but I would rather it bounce at the 286 on the daily. That's just kind of like my thinking. So I would rather see a bounce at 286 if 305 doesn't hold into tomorrow. Yeah, it's really just AMC is just kind of unfortunate. I honestly I didn't really expect that at all with AMC. But I guess from previous history we're literally just seeing the same exact pattern kind of play out here. But yeah, I would say 286 is your next point of support. All right, it's been a good one, guys. We went over a lot of different stocks and tickers and stuff like that. And again, it's just kind of I was getting back into it. Wanted to stream for like an hour and a half, but I'll be streaming every Sunday, and then I'll hopefully be going live during the week. And stuff like that, so we can get those gains, we can get that bread. But appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure to join the Discord so we can hang out there. Check me out on x.com. My @ is at Mr. Gains, so check me out on there. But other than that, peace out, guys. Hope you have a good night, and we'll be on the lookout for tomorrow and how kind of the market reacts.